Hey guys, how are you guys doing? Yeah, everything is on delay right now for me, but we got some cards to talk about today. Excuse my background, I have my fan on and it's going to be a little loud. But we got some new cards to talk about today, some interesting developments, if you will. So let's walk through them. And the only thing we're doing is talking about cards today, but there is some other hip hop news I want to get into tomorrow. We got some updates on people who is dropping, especially a lot of the OGs. Tribe Called Quest got inducted to the Rock Hall of Fame. Oh, it's so many things to talk about. Rhapsody and Absol did a phenomenal concert together. It's so much to talk about in the world of hip hop. But let's get started, shall we? So, I don't know if you heard about this card, but this is actually from the Killed or Be Killed Battle League. And this is Glocktober. So this starts 10/27, which is in a couple of days, right? 10/27. It is hosted by or special guest K Shine and Ron G. And it looks like the headers is going to be Swamp versus Boogie from the four and Dre Dennis versus Suave Rue. We have Prep versus Ratchet Rico, Tink the Demon versus Trademark, Di the Hennyman versus Lotto, and then we go into this other card, lower part of the card here. We have Rue Bando versus Johnny Slay, Nick G versus GP, Stacks Brazzi versus K Dot, LS versus Calico Nice, Henny 3 versus Fire, D Future versus JVO, Black Casper versus Cash. And it looks like this is a 2-on-2. Uh, uh, Smoke Therapy versus Confused Mentally. So this is going to be a 2-on-2. Kiwi Sweet versus Geek Girl. I see that that's going to be the girls right here. Law 3 versus 900. Prime Time 5 versus Ruga. Flu Season. Wow. Versus Illaru. Wow, that fits perfect. That match fits perfect. Flu Season versus Illaru. So this is Glocktober Killed or Be Killed. I didn't see anybody. I'm sorry, not Killed or Be Killed. 32 bars. I was saying Killed or Be Killed. My apologies. This is from 32 Bars presents Glocktober. I apologize. But yeah, this is for October 27th. So looks like we had this going. I didn't see any pay-per-views for this, so this is one that you would show up to. Okay, there's tickets on their Twitter account, so look for 32 Bars Presents. It starts at 3 p.m. or they at least open the doors at 3 p.m. Again, the special guest is K Shine and Ron G, and this is in Charlotte, North Carolina. So Charlotte, pull up. Okay. We also have next. Oh, wrong way. We also have next. Remember, Shotgun Suge got the boxing going on, okay? And this is November 2nd. You can go on oneroundstraight.com to get your tickets. Door opens at 2 p.m. Fight is at 4. It's at the Robert Treat Hotel in Newark, New Jersey. And again, this is Saturday, November 2nd. So, of course, you got Shotgun Suge versus Shark City Ave. I'm really wondering how that's going to go. Stumbles versus Snake Eyes. 40 Bars is now fighting Bonnie Godiva. If I'm not mistaken, she was supposed to have Yoshi G, but they switched out on that. Don Lady versus Tony Blanco. Fettuccine 20 or 2.0 versus Top Floor Loot. Okay. And O-Red versus Stiz. So you get one round straight. This is a boxing match for battle rap. I think this is a very good idea, actually. And it is November 2nd. So check out the details at oneroundstraight.com. Okay. And insert power moves. But before we talk about power moves, let's go to something real quick. Because yes, Power Moves is on the 9th, right? But there's been some interesting developments about power moves, and we are about to talk about it. We are moving on. Before we start with power moves, there's something else I wanted to show you. Get to it real quick here. Uh, bear with me a moment. Okay, you should be able to see it soon. So, what had happened was URL dropped a card, and this is for November 11th. I'm sorry, November the 3rd. And now some may take this as like a slight, if you will, to John, to not John John, to Hitman Holla. And because we've been seeing only Hitman's Holla's card, they've been advertising for their date that's 11/9/2024. All of a sudden yesterday URL comes out the blue and boom, we got a card. And this is for 11/3. Okay, go to URL to check out the details. Of course, they have an app, and so this is their card, which is a pretty solid card. Now some people may say that this is something that's um it looks like it's being disrespectful to Hitman Holla's card, which is on the 9th. But when you think about it, I mean, short sight, yeah, I can see the point. I totally understand that. But when you really think about it, I don't think so. And the reason why I say that is because apparently it's this a guy named Mayor Mondale, if I'm not mistaken, that's his name. He did a politics as usual battle rap event with John the Don. And that's when everybody was going down there battling. They was, they had won prizes for battle rapping, and they had event money on the line for events. He came down there, he was down there spending money on the battle rappers, and may I add that they was acting like a lot of bad bitches. You know what I mean? Like they got flued out. They were showing their receipts that they got fed and taken care of. It was the only thing I needed to see is a whole bunch of folk getting their nails done. It would have been done with me. But so they had a good time. Well, apparently this is the same guy that funded this event, and this is supposed to be for before the election, which of course is what, November 5th, the election. So what happened was, once this card dropped, Hitman Holla went to Spaces, said his piece about it. He ain't like it too much. He kind of tried to turn it like towards Gucci, saying, "Well, dang, Gucci, I thought you was with the homies, and they up here pushing the card out in front of your card, and you got like pay-per-view percentage here. How are they your homies?" So I don't know if John the Don is going to use, I mean, excuse me, not John, if Hitman Holla is going to use that, in the battle between him and Geechee. But this is the card. So what also a little tidbit of news that we found out on behind the scenes information is that this is the same guy also that was apparently trying to approach Hitman Holla to move his card date forward, I believe, or back, either one of the two. I think it was forward, to be able to be, before the elections. And from what Hitman was saying is that it was going to cost a little bit, and in the communication just fell flat after that. He didn't hear anything else. So apparently he went to URL. Now, mind you, URL did not advertise nothing or anything before. They didn't give a hint, from my understanding. Just people kept saying they think that the URL will be having a card drop at any moment. And usually if they have a card dropping, it's going to be for a month or so ahead, later, at least a month or so later. Well, this drop and it's like a couple of weeks, if that. Like it's really actually like next week. So that's what makes me feel that URL wasn't doing this to be malicious. They had the bag. Dude had the money. They was able to set up the matches for that money, and that's what happened. And then this is battle rap. So if they was kind of shady, yeah, okay. You know what I mean? But in this we have, let's start here. And oh, and also it's called Bars Over Politics. Of course, that politics theme because of the election. Again, you go to url.com. All the information is there. You can get this on the app. So we have T Top versus Jerry West. We have Miss Hustle versus Fonz. Rum Nitty versus Real Sync. Tay Rock versus Chef Trez. And Hollow the Don versus JC. Now, let's talk about a couple of these battles here. T-Top versus Jerry West might be very, very, very good. That might be very good, you know. Miss Hustle and Fonz. I think that might be a pretty good battle too. But the one battle that I'm really, really interested in, and I'm not gonna lie, when I seen Rum Nitty and Real Sick, I was like, ooh. And I think that's cool because Real Sick has they better watch Real Sick. Real Sick is just getting betterer and betterer. You hear me? Real Sick is doing his thing. He has not missed yet. He's like becoming a quiet assassin. Yo, you turn your back, he's about to get you. He did a phenomenal job against Clips. I don't care if Clips was or was not at his best. And Clips wasn't all the way there due to some certain situations. However, it did not take away from the fact that Real Sick was not one to play with that night. And if you haven't seen that battle, that was off of King of the Dot. That was a good battle. Just look at Real Sick part. That's it. Just look at his part. All 3 rounds, just look at his part. He was bombing. He was bombing. So I think this between him and Rum Nitty is going to be something special here. I could that right there. I'm more excited over the whole card, and nothing take away from any of the other people, but that one right there it seems to me that right there is like the best battle on the card. Now we have Chef Trez and Tay Rock. Okay, so this is Tay Rock's what? 3rd week, 4th week he been going, right? Now, I have a question. And I'm not trying to throw shade on anybody on this question here. I don't know why my thing isn't showing up. So, oh, okay, it's finally popping up. So you can see the card now. It was taking a long time for it to do what it's supposed to do. Sorry about that, y'all. But here's the card here. I have a question about the Tay Rock versus Chef Trez. Tay Rock right now, this year, has been rapping longer in his rounds, way beyond the time. The last card, which was in game, I'm not going to front. It irritated the hell out of me. It did because I didn't understand why it had to be that long, only for him, right? And then on the second round, both of them was doing it, and then on the third round, both of them was doing it, but it was shorter. But it just, I'm really interested in seeing if Tay Rock stays on time for the URL card, and I'm just gonna go that far. That's it. I wonder what the time is going to be, and if he's going to just stay, if he's going to stay on time for that. Like when it cuts off at 3 minutes, he's going to cut off at 3 minutes. I'm gonna leave it there, and then I'm gonna come back to that when I'm able to see the battle on the app because I am eventually going to get the app. But yeah, I want to say that. And then, of course, Hollow the Don versus JC. So Hollow the Don has been battling here at a couple of cards. I think his last card that I seen him was on Trenches, but I know he did another card. It feels like he did. But even on Trenches, he did very good. But I think it was Av. Av wasn't the one. That was just it. But Hollow the Don is always going to be the he solidified. It don't matter. But him coming outside though is really nice to see. It's really nice to see. So that is Bars Over Politics. Of course, you go to urltv.tv. I was telling y'all.com. urltv.tv to find out the rest of the details. But this is for November 3rd. So check it out on the app. Okay. Now let's talk about the next card here, because this did jump in front of the next card that we're about to discuss, which is, of course, Power Moves. And while the URL card is a strong card, this Power Move card is something dangerous. You know what I mean? So let's finish talking about this card, the rest of these cards. Oop, I did something wrong. My fault. Hold on. I jumped too fast with it. Yeah, so Power Moves to me was still the stronger card, if you will. So let's get on here and see. While we wait for it to pop up, I will say this. I want to show you the tweet where I got the information about Mr. The mayor giving money to help for the battle or sponsoring the battles. He again, from what Hitman is saying, that he already gave him, tried to give him the bag for him to change it. And that was about the day before the election, about a month ago. As you can see, this is what Hitman Holler was saying about that. And this was the behind the scenes stuff that we didn't know. So the mayor who flew everybody out the last time and who worked with John the Don, politics as usual, which people make light of it and they're talking about the money. Me too, talking about the money and things, but let's not overlook what the significance of that event was about too. It was teaching Black men about the voting, investments. They had like courses there. People really, from my understanding, people really enjoyed themselves down there in Atlanta. They had a good time down there. They were stress free down there. Other than the battles, you know, you had, of course, you had to get ready for the battles. It was a good mix of education and having a good time. So yeah, we can make light of it, and I surely did when I seen it. I was like, oh, they show it off, ain't they? But it, all in all, it was something that had to be done. Learning about investments, understanding why it's important to vote, and Black men in particular, they did a lot of focus on Black men, so that was great. Honestly, that was great. So we can't ever overlook the what politics as usual did on the John the Don card. So, but this is the same guy that's sponsoring for URL. And you might be wondering, like, well, if he's a mayor, why is he sponsoring? Because you know they're only allowed to get so much money, right, for the election. So then they got to move that money off to something else. It's completely legal, from my understanding. I don't know, but from my understanding, he is all legit on the up and up. So I guess it's best to say allegedly, okay. But this is what he was saying. Hitman, he started here. I'm just start right here, the second sentence. Offered to give me some money to change my event from the 9th till any day before the election a month ago. I said that'll take a little bag, meaning you going to pay for that, because you know when things get set in stone, it's kind of hard to move it. He said it didn't go through. He did the event with URL 11.3. So he's saying that he knew the guy who's sponsoring this. So when you look at it, and URL is known for their shadiness and pettiness, I really don't feel like that's what they were doing here. It's like, hey, the man won an event. We're going to sponsor an event. It's centered around politics because he's the mayor. He said 11.3 because it was fast. You know, URL, we would have seen something. We would have known if they was being shady. They will do direct shade. So we would have known some type of pettiness. And I really, not for this, I don't think URL was trying to be petty at all. So I just chalk it up to they had a sponsor. That's when the guy wanted it done, and they was like, "All right, we gonna do it," and that was it. So back to Power Moves card though. Let's get into that now. And I apologize for sounding a little choppy. I am tired. I had a full day, so but I wanted to get these cards out because there was cards that I didn't see anyone else really talk about. And I mean, we are a Battle Rap Street team. So if there's cards that you've noticed that we've missed, let us know so we can put it up here and we can talk about it. Okay. So let's get to Power Moves. Of course, Power Moves is hosted by Froze and Bros. And the headline, of course, is Hitman Holla and Geechee Gotti. And I'll tell you what, they've been selling the heck out this card. They have me laughing on the timeline. They have me laughing on timeline, going back and forth. New Jersey Twerk versus Big K is before them. And of course, we have Swamp and T-Rex before them. And then A Ward versus Av. And if you haven't treated yourself yet, go ahead on to Bags and Bodies channel, that's Hitman Holla's channel on YouTube. Go ahead and indulge. Get you some popcorn and a good beer and indulge yourself in one of the most funniest, enjoyable face-offs you will ever see between Snake Eyes and J2. When I tell you comedy at its fullest, you would enjoy that. If nothing else tells you to buy the pay-per-view, that face-off should convince you. If nothing else, that face-off should convince you. Because when I tell you that face-off was hilarious, the way they went back and forth with each other. And I understand that Hitman Holla and Geechee Gotti is the main event, but I'm telling you right now, I'm not lying to you when I tell you, because I think they're really going to set the tone, and everybody better be better than Snake Eyes versus J2. They got to be better, and I think that Snake Eyes and J2 is going to set that bar so high that they're going to put pressure on everybody else. It's going to they're going to set the pressure so high that they may cause anxiety for the others. I in this instance, I wish I was Froze and Bros, because I would love to hear what J2 and Snake Eyes say to each other up close. That would be enjoyable for me. So go and watch the face off and laugh. Just go. Just watch it. Just watch it. Okay. Now, of the two, who do I think will win? I don't really know, because the face off was so hilarious. So I'm gonna reserve my judgment on Snake Eyes versus J2. You know what though? But I will say this. I think I'm gonna edge it to J2 a little bit though. Edge it 2-1. Yeah. I'm gonna say 2-1 J2. I'm gonna say that. Now, A Ward versus Ab. I don't know if A Ward battled last week. I can't remember. There's been so many cards in the last month. I can't remember keep straight who was where. But if we got the A Ward that had some rest, that ain't been like back to back, he might be a great formidable opponent because he can freestyle and he can rebuttal very well. But Av is a puncher, and every time Av rap, it feels like you need to have boxing gloves with Av, because he don't care. In other words, he don't care about your fancy footwork in the ring, because once he hits you, he's going to hit you, and you're going down. So A Ward versus Av is very interesting. Ooh, I'm going to go ahead and say Av. I might change my mind next time and talk about some more cards, but I think I'm going to go ahead and say Av. I'm going to say Av. T-Rex versus Swamp, I got T-Rex automatically. The way T-Rex has been running shit, I got T-Rex automatically. 2-1. T-Rex. Now, New Jersey Twerk versus BK, goodness, Big K. Ooh, I don't even want to call that one because that really can go either way. They're both, that can go either way. If we're getting it, and I hate using the ifs because to me, the more ifs you use on the opponent, the less likely they win. That's if we got to count on you coming first off, no choking, secondly, and everything. If you are on your best, and we gotta do all of those variables of if he, if this, if that, if she, if and all that, that automatically for me personally, that makes me choose the other opponent. But I will say this one is going to be 2-1 either way. I don't. It might be tie all the way through. I don't think nobody's getting 30. I don't think so. I wouldn't bet on it, but I don't think so. Now, Hitman Holla versus Geechee. Oh goodness. The thing about Geechee, he has very good raps and he raps hard at you. He raps to embarrass you. I mean, it'd be your truth or somewhat of it, but he can paint a picture to embarrass you and disrespect you very highly, very, very highly. And that is what Geechee does. He disrespects very highly. And I think sometimes, like with Hitman Holla, I don't know why people underestimate him, but when he get into his bag, he is that. He is who he say he is. You know what I mean? So I'm a reserve. I'm a hold back on that too because I don't even know if it could go either way 2-1, but it's just because both styles are so different that I don't want to call it. Okay. So again, that's power moves, and that's going to be indicator where it's greater and ATL in Georgia, November 9th. And again, the doors will open at 1 p.m. and we will have Bros and Bros doing the commentary. This type of card here, you need a good commentary. And Frozen Bros does a wonderful job. So it opens at 1 p.m. Battles will be starting at 3. You can go to Eventbrite if you showing up. And that's $75 for the tickets. And pay-per-view is $50. And I really think that this card is worth it. This card is worth it. This is a hard card right here. Not to take away from anything with URL's card, which is a pretty good card. It's a solid, good card for what they had to bring together in a couple of weeks. I don't know how long they've been working on it, but apparently it must have been a month if Hitman Holla was also approached. So they had to move fast. That's why I don't think they really was trying to be slick on this. But moving on. And again, we have Winter Madness. And this is going to be headlined by Arsenal and Murder Mook. So we have Bailey Lee versus Coffee Brown. A Ward again. Now, this time it's going to be A Ward versus J2, which I'm kind of interested in them doing the face off as well. X Factor of Michigan versus New Jersey Twerk. Now that means New Jersey Twerk will be coming off a big battle with BK. I'm hoping everybody stays consistent because everybody was overlapping. Okay, we have Ill Will versus Bill Collector. I think that's going to be a fire battle. Tay Rock is versus Marv One. Now Marv One is one of the OGs. So um, we'll see how it goes because he got those intricate bars. We have Kitchen Clean versus T-Rex. I got Rex. Swamp versus Calico. That might be a good matchup right there. And again, Arsenal versus Murder Mook, which I'm very interested in. You can get all the tickets and details on Rap Grid. It's December 8th. If you're in Michigan, it's in Mount Clemens, Michigan. This is a nice card. This card is fire for it to be so cold. Okay. And with that said, here's some what I was able to pull real quick. Some new releases. We got Lee L&D versus M Dog. If you remember, Trenches just had a card here. They really actually Easy's League started off from they started it and then everybody else started dropping after Easy in them, if you think about it. So this is when they had like a pre-day, if I'm not mistaken. It was like a day before the actual Trenches anniversary. And that's the card when you had Skull, you had King, you had I think no, not Tex. It was Av and Hollow the Don, and Easy Ill Will. So it was that card. And so they had no, it was not that card. It was, I want to say Trench's anniversary, but I don't think that's what it was. It was, when was it? This was the day before, because I think this one when they had, no, yeah, it was, because it was with Zan and Sea Breeze. Sea Breeze. Oh, yeah, yeah, Sea Breeze the lyricist. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, okay, yeah. So this was the day before, and this had Lee L&D versus M Dog. If you did not see, this is on Trenches. If you have not seen this yet, Lee, this is my first time really watching Lee. I remember he was in a previous Trenches card, and he didn't, he didn't do so well. He had to get adjusted and everything. And M Dog, I think, has been out of the scene for a minute, so is getting off that ring rust and what have you. So this is a good matchup for both when you think about it. One getting renewed to the scene, and the other one is getting acclimated into getting higher, in the scene. Um, that boy was fired. Lee L&D was fired. I just seen it and didn't even get a chance to write a post about it yet. But I'm gonna tell you now, that's a good battle. Lee L&D was not one to mess with. He was not playing on that stage. You could tell he's getting his stage presence really good. He was clear. He was going. That young man was going. So respect to you, sir. And it's clear that Lee L&D won. It's very clear. There is no, oh, but no, it's clear he won. Also, what just dropped was Wartown Battle, which was Charlie Clips versus Clone. I have not been able to watch that yet. I have not watched that yet. And then Charlie Clips versus Real Sick on King of the Dot. So there you have it. Their Massacre 6. It is now out, and you can see it. And Real Sick was not playing with Charlie Clips at all. He was not playing with him. So he did a great job. So those are the new releases that I was able to find real quick for you guys. I am going to wrap up. Thank you for spending some time with me tonight. You have a lovely night. Stay safe. Bye.